What up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Celebrity Birthdays. And this time, I'm not gonna be at my usual studio at my house. It's actually gonna be at my brother's apartment, all the way in Idaho, since at this time I'm recording during the 4th of July, and we're gonna head to a party at my mom's house. At my mom's friend's house, I mean. Anyways, I usually get this done very early, so I wouldn't miss out. Anyways, today is July 10th, 2016, which means it's the 54th birthday of Grant Kirkhope. Grant is well known for being a very awesome composer. He composed a lot of video games that were developed by the video game company Rareware. And I've known Rare ever since I was a little girl. Ever since I played at Donkey Kong Country. Well, it was more of my brother because I didn't know the controls very well. He even did some games that I never knew of, like the Killer Instinct 2 Gold and GoldenEye 007, and as well as Perfect Dark. Besides being a composer, he's also a voice actor in a few games. He was Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong 64. He was Mumbo Jumbo in Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. And according to my friend Lucas, he also did a few other roles besides that. And my guess, it was probably Bottles or something, I can't remember. I have a very bad memory sometimes, but just in case I ever forget, I would always look at his videos back. Just because he's a really awesome YouTuber out there. And guess who has a YouTube page? Grant Kirkhope himself. Don't believe me? Here's a picture of him right here. I haven't subscribed to him, and I suggest you subscribe to him too if you're a big fan of Banjo-Kazooie. I'll leave a link in the description to his YouTube page. So Grant Kirkhope, I hope you have a very awesome birthday, and I think you're a really awesome actor as well, especially when you were Donkey Kong. And I'm happy that Nintendo had a few recycled voices of you until later. In fact, I heard that DK was voiced by a Japanese actor while you're Scottish. Anyways, if you're watching this, please leave a comment. But if you're busy, that's fine. I don't mind. It doesn't really matter what happens or not. So, and if you're not the kind of person to comment or any of that stuff, I'm fine with that. Also, I heard that Grant is actually gonna co-produce the soundtracks of the video game that is going to be a spiritual successor for Banjo-Kazooie called Yooka-Laylee, which will come next year. It was originally going to be released this year during the fall, but Playtonic Games, the developers, wanted to make a few adjustments just to make it perfect. And I'm glad that Playtonic is actually doing this, because a lot of people have been wanting to make this game very perfect and fun, just like how it was with Banjo-Kazooie. So anyways, happy birthday, Grant Kirkhope. I'm gonna imitate Donkey Kong and Mumbo Jumbo.
Okay. Ika boka.
To also close this special off, I'm gonna do a story of how I found Banjo-Kazooie. And this art style of hands is inspired by a fellow YouTuber named Art a la carte, or how her real name is, Valerie. And I'm still learning how to draw, especially hands, because growing up I always grew up I would always draw some stick figures, so wearing clothes. Anyways, it started off when I was a little girl. We were visiting my Aunt Julie in Auburn for the night, and when I came into the living room to say hi to my cousin Kyle, I saw that he was playing a game where it showed a bear sleeping in his bed, and there was a picture of a female bear in the background. And I asked Kyle, "Wow, what are you playing, Kyle?" And he was like, "It's called Banjo-Kazooie." Then when Kyle pressed A, the bear woke up and let out a went out loud, "Gah!" And a bird came out of the backpack. She had red feathers, along with a little yellow, and she had green eyes. And I was so amazed at the art style. It made me so happy. I really wanted that game. Then another time, we were at McDonald's as a special treat. This was when we lived all the way in Nevada, which is all the way in the desert. We were playing over there, and we found a game. We had a little arcade that was there, and one of the games that was there was Banjo-Kazooie, along with Yoshi's Story, which was how I found Yoshi's Story, and it was cute, but I wanted to play Banjo-Kazooie first. The game just made me so happy. The art style, the cartoony sound effects, everything was just flawless. While we lived in Nevada, we found this little video game rental store, and when we got there, we found Banjo-Kazooie right at the second we walked in the front door. And I was like, Mom, I want Banjo-Kazooie! And my brother decided he wanted it too. And since he was 4 inches taller than me, he was able to reach it. And I was so excited that when we got home, we got to play the game right away. And then a year later, about 2001, my mom came home with a package containing Banjo-Tooie, the sequel. And I was so excited. I was so excited that there was actually a sequel. I never even knew that the game was that popular. Then on my brother's 11th birthday, August 17th, about 2001, we actually got a copy of Banjo-Kazooie from my Aunt Julie. It was very nice of her. I guess she knew that we were both big fans of Banjo-Kazooie, and we still have this copy, and to this day, it's right over here next to that paper. It's kind of hard to see. Anyway, when we got home, we were so excited to play it again. And I didn't want to draw this, so I'll just cut to the chase. You see, we were all excited about Banjo-3 being released, but then we heard the sad news that Microsoft was buying out to Rare, and Nintendo didn't have the rights to Banjo-Kazooie anymore. The only rights that they had that Rare once had, that was Donkey Kong, because Nintendo originally created Donkey Kong. However, they did recycle some of Grant Kirkhope's sound effects he gave DK, and I was really sad because I was really looking forward to a new Banjo-Kazooie game. Then my brother found out there was a new Banjo-Kazooie game for the GBA called the Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, which was a prequel to Banjo-Tooie. And it made people believe that game was also based off from the day that Banjo and Kazooie actually met. And I believe them. I have that theory too. My theory is that Banjo found Kazooie injured when he was at Breagle Beach, because you saved Kazooie at Breagle Beach in the game. And it was a really fun game. I didn't save Kazooie until later because I didn't understand any of the controls or anything. But after that, I finally figured it out. But I never beat the game because the final boss is really, really hard for me. But that's okay. I've seen the ending before, and it's not that bad. And I also heard about Banjo Pilot, but I didn't get that until last year for my birthday. And then came the bad game I really, really don't like. But I do have it. It's pretty good, especially the compositions. Anyways, the game, it was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. And I was really hoping that Rare would make a much better game that wouldn't involve cars. In fact, cars are not my thing. I mean, I do want to get my driver's license, but building cars, that's not for me. So, unless you love sandbox games like building cars and all that, you should probably get that game. But if you don't, that's fine. I actually don't mind. And I understand people's opinions of what they think of the game. Whether it's good or bad, I don't really care. I actually like a few things, like the compositions, like I said. I especially love the showdown town music. It sounds really amazing. Anyways, I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.